The container widget is like a box. You can customize its size, padding, margin, color, alignment, decoration, and more. It's often used as a building block for UI elements. Let's look at the simple example. The width and height properties define the size of the container. If you don't set them, the container size itself based on its child. The color gives background color to the container. It only works if you haven't used the decoration property, which we will cover next. The child property is where you place the content of your container. It could be a text, icon, or even any widget. In this example, I use text as a child, and you can see the output text is shown inside the container. If you want to control the alignment of the child, you can use alignment property. Alignment property controls where the child widget is positioned within the container. Like in this example, I use alignment.center, and you can see the output. Text is centered. You can use margin and padding property to add space. But the main difference between margin and padding, margin creates space outside the container. Think of it as pushing the container away from the surrounding widget. And padding adds space inside the container around its child. It's like adding internal space so the content doesn't touch the edges. The most important property is decoration. Decoration is a powerful property that lets you customize the container background, border, radius, shadow, and more using box decoration. This is how you add rounded corner, shadow, or even gradient. In this example, I use color property. Whenever you use decoration, you must use decoration color instead of using this color, otherwise you get an error. I use border radius and also use box shadow to give the shadow to the container. You can use gradient property to give the gradient to the container. I use linear gradient and give two colors dot red and colors dot green. You can see the output. So that's the container widget. A column widget allows you to arrange children widget vertically from top to bottom. It's super useful when you want to stack widget like text, image, button, or any element vertically. Think of it like a vertical list but without scrolling. Let's look a simple example how to use column widget in Flutter. Only you want to do grab this widget. I can copy this image and paste down here. Run your app and you can see vertically arranged two images in your UI. Now let's look the properties of column one by one. If you want to add padding between these two images, only you want to do add a property, spacing, and provide your value here. And run your app and you can see padding between images. Now if you want to control vertical alignment of children, you can use property main axis alignment and provide your value here. Main axis alignment dot center and run your app. You can see here this will center all the images vertically. You can also change alignment like space evenly and run your app and you can see the output here. Now if you want to control horizontal alignment, you can use property cross axis alignment and provide your value here cross axis alignment dot and run your app. But you can see here there is no changes in the output because the width of the column is same as the size of the images. So I can wrap this column with size box and provide width. When I run my app, you can see now this property works. You can also change this property to center and run your app and you can see now all the widgets are centered according to this width. There is another property main axis size. This property control how much vertical space the column should occupy. And there is two options main axis size dot max and min. If I provide this value and run my app, you can see here the size of the column is decreased to their children's size. But if I change this to max and run my app, you can see now the column height is equal to the screen height. Another useful but lesser known property in the column widget is vertical direction. By default, a column lays out children from top to bottom. But with vertical direction, you can change the order like flipping the layout upside down. Only you want to do vertical direction, and you can see two options: vertical direction dot up and down. Down is default value, so I can change to up and run my app, but you can see no changes in the UI because there's two images and both images are same. So I can provide text here. Now if I run my app, you can see here the text is at the bottom of the screen, but in coding the position of the text is top. So when you change the vertical direction to up, you can change the upside down. Now you know how to fully control the column widget. The row widget in Flutter is used to arrange its children widgets horizontally from left to right. It's super useful when you want multiple widgets in a single line like button, icon or text. Only you want to do wrap your widget with row widget, and I can copy this widget and paste down here. When I run my app, you can notice that two images align horizontally. Now look at the properties. If you want to add space between these two images, you can use space property and add your value. When I run my app, you can see 10 pixel padding here. If you want to control how the children are aligned horizontally, you can use main axis alignment dot, and you can use any value here like center, and when I run my app, these two images align center. Now if you want to control vertical alignment of the children, you can use property cross axis alignment dot, and you can use any value like center, baseline and start stretch. So I can use center, and when I run my app, you can notice that there is no changes in the output because the height of the row is equal to the height of their children. So if I provide height here, wrap this widget with size box and provide height here like 300, and when I run my app, you can notice that these two images align center according to this height. And if I change this to end, and when I run my app, these two images align at the end of this height. There is another property, main axis size, and this property defines how much space the row should occupy horizontally. If I provide main axis size dot min and run my app, you can notice that this row takes only needed space. But if you change this to max, it will cover whole width of the screen. So that's a complete breakdown of the row widget in Flutter with all the useful property explained one by one. I hope this helps you build better UI layout in your Flutter apps. So what is the wrap widget? Well, if you have ever used a column or row and your widget overflow off the screen, wrap is here to save the day. Unlike row and column, wrap automatically moves widget to the next line or column when there is no enough space. Here you can see the simple row example with multiple images. If I increase the images, we have got an overflow error. So copy this image, and when I paste down here and run my app, you can notice that there is an overflow error. So simply you can do change row widget to wrap widget. And when you run your app, you can notice that extra widget which overflows shift down to the next row. Now talk about some important properties of wrap widget. If you want to add padding horizontally, you can use spacing and add value here, and when I run my app, you can see horizontal spacing between images. But if you want to add vertical spacing, you can use run spacing property and add your value here, and when I run my app, you can see that vertical spacing is also added. Now if you want to control the alignment of the widget, you can use alignment property wrap alignment dot center, and when I run my app, you can see that these images are centered. Let me show you how much area wrap widget cover. So I can wrap container widget and provide color property color dot red, and when I run my app, you can see that the red area, and now you can see this alignment property work well. So this alignment property align widget horizontally. If you want to align widgets vertically, so you can use run alignment. So I can add any value wrap alignment dot space between, and when I run my app, there is no changes in the output because the height of the wrap widget is equal to the children. So I can increase the height 300, and when I run my app, this property works. Space between, and you can see that there is space between these two rows. Now if you want to change the direction of the wrap widget, you can easily use direction property axis dot vertical and horizontal. Horizontal is default value, so I can use vertical, and when I run my app, the direction of the wrap widget is changed. And that's our wrap widget. The stack widget in Flutter is used to overlap widgets. It allows multiple children to be placed on top of each other. Let's look at the simple example how you can use stack widget. Stack widget takes multiple children. The first widget is at the bottom and the last widget is on top. Let's see useful properties of stack widget. Alignment defines how children should be aligned. The fit property defines how children should fill the stack. If you set stack fit dot loose, the children of the stack are allowed to have their own size. But if you change stack fit dot expand and run your app, the children are forced to expand and fill the stack size. Clip behavior property controls whether overflowing children should be clipped or not. You can use stack widget whenever you want widgets to overlap, building complex layout. So that's it. Try using it in your next UI and see how much power it gives you in creating flexible and layered design. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another widget breakdown. Thanks for watching DevCode. Keep building awesome apps and happy coding. Khuda Hafiz.